I'm going to be sharing with you in this video how to deal with resistance when creating a new reality. Because when you're stepping into a new version of yourself, when you're becoming something different, what's going to happen is that you're going to feel resistance. Now, how you deal with that resistance is going to allow you to not fall into the old timelines. I'm going to be sharing with you in this video how not to believe in the old timeline, how not to believe in the resistance, so that you can keep moving forward where your soul and your spirit and the truth of who you prefer to be wants to go in anyways, where you want to go anyways, and to stop believing in all the fear and the resistance and the negativity. So if you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to hit that notification bell. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, all the details for that will be down below. Now, the first thing that I want to share with you in this video is to understand that resistance, all resistance is, this is like literally all you need to know about resistance. It's not more complicated than this. If you make it more complicated than this, what happens is that you can disconnect from your natural sort of like guidance that we all have been gifted with by, you could say, spirit or life. See, when you believe in resistance, all you're doing is you're believing in the past. That's all it is. That's all resistance is. Resistance is just the past. When you're believing in resistance, all you're believing in is the past. See, when you're manifesting a new reality, when you're going in a certain direction, when you're becoming something new, all that's happening is that your life force and your consciousness and your energy is being directed in a new direction. Now, what happens is that when you feel fear coming up, what most people do is they react to the fear. They think something is wrong and they go back to the old version of who they used to be. But the thing is that no matter where you're going, and there's no right or wrongs here, right? Because everything is just a frequency and vibration. So when you're shifting to a new reality, what's going to happen is that you're just going to be letting go of all those old frequencies, all those old energies. And when you feel resistance coming up, you got to understand that's just the past. That's not you. It's just the past. It has nothing to do with you. If you decide that it's you, that is simply a choice. It's a choice. So what I want to share with you here, to keep it very simple, is that resistance is just the past. That's how you deal with it, first of all, is you understand what the emotion is trying to tell you. The emotion is trying to tell you, it's basically like, it's almost like, think of it almost like, it's like, hey, it's just an emotion coming up and it's asking you, some part of you is like, are you ready to let this part of you go? Because when you choose to go into new reality, that part of you will be gone. And yes, it's going to be a little bit sad. Yes, you might feel like a grieving process, but really what you want to do is focus more on where you're going, who you're becoming, what you're gaining, what you're actually gaining in this process. See, people always think about what they're going to lose and they fall into the fear of lack. And I'm going to lose this in my life, and I'm going to lose this, and I'm going to lose this, and I'm going to lose this. But it's like, actually, you got to keep your attention on who you're becoming, right? Don't focus on the lack. The lack is usually just fear. In fact, it's almost always fear, because lack, if you look at lack and fear closely, what you'll find is that lack and fear is nothing but an emotion and resistance based on the past, which is out of alignment with who you're becoming. That's all it is. That's really all that's happening. So what's happening is that you need to ignore this. See it. You can't really run away from anything, right? You see it, you notice it, but then you choose to ignore it. Now, the second part of this process that I want to share with you, that I'm going to be inviting you to do here in this video, in terms of how to deal with resistance when creating a new reality, is don't believe in resistance. Don't believe in it. See, to believe in resistance is a choice. It's a choice to believe in resistance. When you're choosing to become a new person, you're gonna feel resistance. So don't try and run away from resistance in your life. People, I think that, in the spiritual community and in life, people in life, what happens is that we try to create a life with no resistance. Absolutely no resistance. But see, resistance is good. Pain is good. Pain is, first of all, directing your life to go in certain directions and not go in certain directions. And also pain is a useful tool. You know, resistance is not so bad. You know what I mean? I feel like if you try to create a life with absolutely zero resistance, there would be no contrast. There's nothing, no contrast. Contrast is what makes life amazing. So let's say you burn your hand on the stove, right? That's resistance. That hurts. It should hurt because you don't want that. You don't want for your hands to be burned on the stove. And that sounds obvious. It's like, well, obviously, Francis. Okay, so then how come when it comes to manifestation, why is it that in the manifestation community, or just when we're deciding something new, just in general, we want to create zero resistance? Why? What if resistance wasn't a bad thing? What if we were to reframe resistance as simply something that's out of alignment with who you want to be, such as burning your hand on the stove? You don't want that. It's pointing you. See, your consciousness wants to go somewhere. You want to develop somewhere. And then the hand on the stove is like telling you, no, that's a red flag. Don't keep doing that. Stop putting your attention on that. Stop putting your attention on the stove. Learn from that lesson. See, when you burn your hand on the stove, you can learn a lesson from that. The lesson is stop putting your hand on the stove, right? So the key is don't believe in the resistance. And so what I want to conclude this video with is a very powerful but simple understanding, which is that resistance, this is such a powerful understanding. If you apply this in your life, you're never going to not know how to deal with resistance ever again in your life. This will be it. This will be the last video you need to watch around manifestation and like looking for answers or manifestation. Like, I don't really watch manifestation videos too much anymore because like I just know where I'm going. You know what I mean? If maybe if it pops up and I'm excited, then I'll watch it. But anyways, to conclude this video, what I want to share with you is to understand that resistance, this is going to be the last thing you ever need. Resistance is your cue. It's your cue to align with your goal. That's it. That's it. That's all you need to know about resistance. If resistance is coming up, you realign back with your goal, and that's it. And you use that resistance, you actually use it as a tool. Use it as a tool to actually go back towards your goal and who you're becoming. That's it. And rather than getting reactive to the resistance and then resisting the resistance and then falling into this sort of like negative feedback loop of being scared of being scared and then being scared of resistance and then reacting to the reaction and then reacting and then reacting and then reacting, and then before you know it, you don't even know who you're becoming anymore, and you're in this chaotic and you're in this frantic energy and there's no peace in your life, there's no order to your life. You can avoid this entire timeline of negative events and frequencies and all these chaotic things. You can completely avoid all of this. You can completely not even avoid it, but don't even just don't allow yourself to go in that direction. You can completely avoid that by simply seeing the resistance as a tool and a cue to align with your goal. Now, this sounds simple. I know what I'm sharing with these sounds simple, but I want to conclude this video with an invitation for you to be open to the possibility that although what I shared with you in this video is absolutely simple, I do believe that some of the most simple concepts are the most powerful concept in life. It can be so simple and so straight to the point that often I believe the most simple ideas we can neglect the significance of. So I encourage you to sit with that, and with that I conclude this video. Once again, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, all the details for that will be down below. As always, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next